Hi. So this video is going to be about how to open up a client to a program. Okay, so you would do this if you are working with someone who you are enrolling or admitting to your particular program. You don't do this at annuals. You don't do this for updates. You just do it for new enrollments only. Okay, so stick around and I'll show you how to do this. As always, we're using my girl, Hermione Granger. She's my favorite character in the Harry Potter books. So she is not a real consumer or a real person. Okay, because we always want to be mindful of our HIPAA and protecting people's privacy. So I'm going to click Profile of Client, and then I'm going to choose the Plan of Care tab. Y'all, I love this tab. There is so much that you can do from here. And when you're going to launch a treatment plan, it does it right here. See how it defaults to treatment plans? It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so all you got to do is hit Filter List. It's going to say no records found if they are not open to anything at the Community Services Board. Okay? If they are, it'll show up in this list here. Well, there's no list, but it's going to show up where it says treatment plan, effective date, plan expiration date, all of that. It's going to show up in the list right here. It's okay for them to be enrolled into other things as long as they are not already enrolled to the program that you're trying to admit them to right now. In that case, you would stop and check out that plan and see what's going on while they're still active, okay? Because we don't do an admission for someone who is already admitted to that program, okay? So we are going to click on the plus as long as the existing plan is not in there, you know, for the one we're trying to add, okay? Just keep that in mind. Then we're going to get to this really, really, really important screen. Okay, so where it says location, this is where you put the location of your program. Now, we have had a lot of things move around in the past 6 months to a year as of this video is being recorded. And so we are gradually trying to update where our programs are listed in our health record system. Okay. But they won't always match up. So the important thing is that you know whatever location your particular program is listed under. So if you're not sure, please reach out to me or ask your supervisor or anybody on your team, and they'll be able to show you where yours is. Since we're using emergency services as a particular example for this client, I'm going to choose Virginia Beach Boulevard. Now, that's where they were when Profiler started. That's not where they currently are now. So just like I said, kind of make sure you know where your program is listed under. It will show you all the programs for that particular cost center, excuse me, for that particular location. If you don't see your program, your location is not right, and so you can go back up to location and select the different one, okay? Because sometimes you can very easily accidentally click on the wrong thing. Okay, so I'm going to choose emergency services. Okay, and then I'm going to select filter. Okay, and if I scroll over to the right, it says emergency services in that list. And I've got to click on that to drop it down into this slot that says treatment plan, okay? So if you go through all the above steps and you get to that treatment plan area and it doesn't say the one that you want, this is your opportunity to go back up to the top and correct it, because you want to make sure the program that you want to enroll them in is in there. Sounds pretty basic, and I'm sorry to repeat it, but I've seen so many times people accidentally enroll someone to the wrong program. And part of the reason I think is that this screen is so easy, you kind of get on autopilot. So just make sure you're looking at the details. Okay, so we're going to select active. Now, this effective date is the date and time you are admitting the individual to your program. So it is right now, June 18th at 3:02 p.m. Okay, that's the actual date and time that I am recording this video with you. Okay, but unless I have my client right here with me, or I am doing this right at the moment they walk through the door, I'm normally going to have to adjust this time. Okay, so for every other program except emergency services, you want to put the date and time that started your visit with them, your enrollment meeting. Okay, so if I met with them and we started at 2:30, I would click on the time, use my number key, change that to 2:30. Okay, we'll throw one wrench in what I just said. Only emergency services always makes theirs midnight. That's because they work 24 hours a day and they really could enroll people at all hours. So to make things a little bit more streamlined and easier for them, we always set it to midnight for ES because it really truly could be 24 hours a day that they are enrolling someone. So thanks ES for what you do. Okay. So make sure all this stuff is right. Here's your chance to get it right before you save it, and then you save it at the bottom. Now this save normally takes about a minute or two, okay? And that is because it is looking for our entire system for a template that matches the program that you just asked for, okay? Now, in this particular video, while we're waiting for this to load, I am not going to do problems, goals, objectives, interventions, and all that, okay? That is going to be covered in a separate video. This is really just how to open somebody to that program, okay? So once this launches, which hopefully will be in a second, okay? Yes, ta-da! Here we go, okay. Then, and you see ES their treatment plans don't have problems, goals, and objectives and interventions because we don't use them in ES the same way that we might use a program that has ongoing services. So I'm just going to show you how to set up this basic plan, and then we are going to save it. So no matter what plan you're doing, you always want to go to the box that says treatment teams. Your treatment team will show here. Again, this is the ES plan. So that's why it says ES there, but you want to double click on it. And where it says providers/signers, you want to click on the plus, please, and select your name as the provider. Okay, I think my name in here is EHR training. That's the account that I'm in, okay? So you want to make your name here in this provider slot. And here's a little trick. See how it just went right to my name or right to this training account name? If you start typing your name, your last name in this slot, it will, instead of you having to click this down arrow and scroll all the way to the T's, you can jump right to the letter of the alphabet, the section where your name is, okay? The only time it doesn't work perfectly is if somebody has a very similar or same name as you. So if your last name is Jones, then you still might have to put Jones in there and click down and look through the other staff named Jones and make sure you've clicked your name. For role, you are going to be CSB primary provider. The effective date is the same date you put the effective date on the other screen. Okay, it's usually the current day. You just want to make it match the start date of your plan. Okay, so my plan's effective date was June 18th, and my provider date was also June 18th. Okay. If your plan requires a client to sign, which are most plans except for our very limited services that we provide. Okay, so for most of you, you're going to need this client to sign the plan. ES doesn't have to because they're going out and doing a pre-screen. But if you are a staff that needs to have your client sign, you just click their name, click effective, because see, their name is already going to pull in, so you're just doing the effective date and click OK. If you need a parent or guardian to sign, okay, I'm going to add details on how to make them in the drop-down list in a different video. Okay, so I will have a separate one on that because there are some more steps. I'm going to hit save. Yay! Okay, so we're going to come back and add a diagnosis once we know what the diagnosis is. Okay, so I'm going to include that in a separate video because we're going to have to sign and save this plan before we can do anything else on it anyway. Okay, so now we're going to go to where it says signature. The next review date will vary depending on what program you're in. It is usually 90 days. Okay, most of our staff have to do quarterlies. We don't want to keep someone open longer than 90 days without providing them services. So 90 days is a good kind of a check-in date. So this may vary depending on your program. If you have questions, please ask. Okay. So you can either select the next review date, or my personal favorite is to click right here, throw a 9 right in front of that 0, and the date's going to change. It's going to tell me exactly when. Okay, I'm going to click all and show signers. Everyone you listed in your treatment team, that box we already just did, is going to show here, and also a button that says, or a line that says T dash whatever your program is. So for whatever reason, if your name isn't showing up in this list, you can always double click this T emergency services or T whatever it is, whatever your program is, and it will select it. I'm going to double click my name, click the check mark, hit OK. If I needed my client to sign, I would also have them sign at this point. Okay, but really you're going to wait and have them sign after you've added any problems, goals, objectives, interventions for you guys who have to add those things to your plan. Okay, I'm going to select OK. It will say signature complete. Okay, and then I'm going to save it. So remember, if it applies to you and your program, you've got to get that client to sign, and you've got to have them agree to their problems, goals, and objectives interventions. This is just an ES plan where I'm not requiring them to do that. I'm going to do a whole separate video on that stuff. Okay, so check it out. So now, see how I've got my nice little plan here? Gives me an effective date. They're enrolled to emergency services now. So then I could go and I could put my note in and I could do all the other things I need to do. Okay, so I'm going to save it. I'm going to say no, I'm not going to fill in the extra fields. Okay, so let's see. Okay, see if I refresh her screen now, it lights up all the way to the bottom and stamps all those other dates in. So when I added my program, it also started them in the CSV with an active date, the episode with an active date, and then I can proceed and do all the other things I need to do in her chart. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful for you. If it generated more questions, such as how do I add problems and goals? How do I make my list appear alphabetically? Because mine shows up in number order and it's harder to locate. Look for my settings video. Look for my adding problems, goals, and objectives video. You're going to have a lot more information in other videos so that you can find everything that you need. Thank you. Hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.